my corner. Hopefully everything is working because I am currently in my car. So if things look funny, if the filming and the framing looks a little different, if I sound a little different, that's because I'm coming at you live and direct from my car today. So hello worldwide, hello Facebook, hello YouTube, hello Tom Hanks. Thank you so much for tuning in to Kari's Corner. Today, as you can see, I'm in my car. And the reason that I'm in my car is we are going to go for a little drive. And don't worry, I'm safe. I have both of my hands. I can put them on the wheel. I'm not going to be messing with my phone. I've already got it set up. So safety patrol, if you're out there, I'm being safe. So if I'm not always looking at the camera, please know it's because I'm driving. But today, what we're going to be doing, hello, Sheila from Cameroon. Sheila knows the drill. If you are joining us, please make sure you are dropping those questions in the chat box. But remember, I'm always here to answer your questions about the English language exam, about immigration, about life in the United States, about pretty much anything you can think of. This is your opportunity to have a member of Worldwide live and direct here to answer your questions. So if you have any questions during the show, again, it doesn't have to be what I'm talking about. Any questions during the show, please pop them in the chat. I can still see the chat, but we also have Tracy, who is on the other side of our chat, doing an amazing job. He is also there to answer your questions. So if I can't answer it, Tracy, 99.9% of the time, finds the answer to your questions. Oh, Meredith, big shout out to the PTE. You guys are amazing. Meredith is working hard. Meredith is an amazing representative from the Pearson PTE, which I know a lot of you out there. Hello in Nigeria. A lot of you out there are like, I want to take the PTE. I want to take the PTE. And that's great. The PTE is a great exam. It's a great option. Meredith is currently going to be presenting to, I believe, the Florida Board of Nursing. So the PTE and all of these individual tests, so that you guys are aware, have to kind of present and make their case with individual boards of nursing why their test should be included on the docket, like why it should be included as an option for immigration to and for nursing licensure in that particular state. So Meredith, we are thinking of you and wishing you all the best as you head to Florida. Unfortunately, we did receive some bad news, not necessarily about the PTE, but that Virginia has for some reason dropped the PTE from exams that they accept. And so we have a lot of nurses out there. If you're headed to Virginia, your exam options include IELTS, TOEFL, and TOEIC now. That used to not be the case, but the Virginia board met and decided that. So Meredith, maybe after Florida, PTE can take a trip up to Virginia, see what's going on there. But we are always going to be fans of the PTE. We're going to be fans. We're going to be supporters of you, no matter which test that you have to take. We are here to help you prepare. And we're excited to help you prepare. And one way we help you prepare is Kari's Corner. Kari's Corner also helps you prepare for life in the United States. And today's life in the United States, I am taking you to my children's favorite place on the planet. You know what that is? It's Chick-fil-A. We're going to do a drive-through order. And that's something I did not see during my time in Korea or the Philippines. I did not see a drive-through. So you're going to get to experience a live drive-through Chick-fil-A experience. So I'm going to start my car. There it is. That way, like I'm legit driving in the United States. I'm making sure no one's coming. I'm already at Chick-fil-A. I've been parked at Chick-fil-A for a little while now, just in preparation for this drive-through experience with you guys. They have no idea that I'm filming. I probably should have gone through and said, hey, I'm filming, but no one's in line, which never happens at Chick-fil-A. But we're gonna pull up, and this nice person is gonna be so excited.
Can I have a name, please?
Yes, my name is Kari.
And what can we get you, dear?
All right, just so you know, I'm live right now. I'm teaching. My name's Kari.
Yes, ma'am.
Who are
and
you?
I'm Shawan from
Hi.
Chick-fil-A.
This is Shawan from Chick-fil-A.
From Baxter Village.
In Baxter Village, in South Carolina. And so I'm helping nurses who are overseas learn about life in the United States. And one of the things that they don't have overseas is not in Philippines or Korea. They don't have Chick-fil-A, which is sad, right?
Yes, it is.
It's very sad. But they also don't really have drive-thrus. So I'm showing them a real-life drive-thru experience right here with Chick-fil-A. We will probably have over 1,000 or 1,500 viewers by the end of the day. So you're going to be famous. Are you ready to be famous?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, I would like the chicken minis meal.
A 4 or 10 count.
A 4 count, please.
And your drink?
Sweet tea.
And do you need any sauces or a receipt, ma'am?
I do not, but I'm going to pay in cash. Is that okay?
Yes. Yes. She's gonna sit there and take your cash for you.
This is T. We have a new person. This is T.
Hi.
We're having a good time at Chick-fil-A. Oh, we've got somebody from Pakistan says hello.
Say hey.
Says hey. We're so excited. Super pumped.
This made my day.
I'm so happy. I got
You told it was 8:30.
Oh, look, she already got it. You're good.
No.
She was busy. She was busy being famous.
Awesome. Well, ma'am, you have a great day. Come back and see us, okay?
I definitely will. Thank you so much. Just to show everyone out there, Chick-fil-A, you go to the drive-thru, they're the nicest people.
Yes,
Nice. Not everybody's this nice at the drive-thru. Sometimes
this is one of the best locations. So.
This is the best location. If you're in South Carolina, you got to come to Baxter Village, Chick-fil-A. We got a shout out from the Philippines. Thank you so much.
Have a nice one.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, I'm telling you, Chick-fil-A. So when you are in the United States, sometimes people may call Chick-fil-A Jesus chicken. And the reason they call it that is because Chick-fil-A is a Christian-based organization. It's a Christian-based restaurant, and it is not open on Sundays. They do not open on Sundays. They believe Sundays are reserved for church. So, hello! And look, they bring you your food. I'm sorry, I'm filming live right now. Thank you so much. I got my food. I got my sweet tea, and that was it. That's all you gotta do in the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A. Have you guys, I would love to know, you go right ahead, buddy. I would love to know if you guys have heard any rumors, or there any, they call it the Lord's chicken where Meredith is. I think she's in either Texas or Tennessee. I can never remember. I know it's a T. The Lord's chicken, Jesus chicken. But are there any things that you all have heard about the United States? Are there any restaurants that you would like to try when you come to the United States? What are some things? I know McDonald's is everywhere, but McDonald's is different everywhere. So when I was in the Philippines, they had mixed spaghetti on the menu. Texas, where they accept the PTE. Yes, they do. Texas is a great place to take the NCLEX. It's a great state to go through for licensure. So if you're looking to take the NCLEX, Texas is an awesome opportunity, a great state to go through. They're pretty quick with their processing times too. I will say that about Texas. And they answer the phone when you call. Their board of nursing actually answers the phone, which doesn't always happen. So I'm actually kind of pulling out from Chick-fil-A, which is in a bad spot to pull out, but that's okay. But I would love to hear from you guys if there are any restaurants in the United States that you were excited to try. I'll try to give you my feedback on if I've tried them or not. But when you go to a drive-thru, one of the biggest tips that I have is if you're going to a drive-thru with children, that's going to be get your kids' order ahead of time. Get your kids' order ahead of time, because nothing's more of a pain than you're sitting in a long line at the drive-thru and you're making the line even longer by asking, waiting till you get to the front and then asking your kids, okay, what do you want? Know before you go. Know before you go when it comes to ordering at a drive-thru in the United States. Watching from Kenya. Hello in Kenya. Super excited. So I'm at a stoplight and I'm going to kind of show you guys what I got and what our food and stuff looks like. So this is Chick-fil-A. This is the sign for Chick-fil-A right here. So beautiful. It smells so good. So I get chicken minis when I go. And a chicken mini is the most wonderful thing in the world. They're little biscuits with chicken nuggets in them. They're fried chicken nuggets in a buttery biscuit. And they're amazing. They make me so happy. I love chicken minis. Oh, that's where it's at. So, that's not where the fun ends on Kari's Corner today. When I was in the Philippines, I noticed, hello in Nigeria, hello in Oman. I'm in South Carolina where the roads are not in the best condition. Lots of potholes. So if I'm shaking all over the place, let me know. McDonald's, Murtala, where are you that you do not have access to a McDonald's? Or have you eaten a McDonald's? Do you want to eat a McDonald's? Either one. So I would love to hear about your McDonald's dream. Here's Chick-fil-A. This is another thing that I did not see when I was overseas. And this is a very common Southern thing. These are called hash browns. They're fried potato, like crispy things. And they're really good with ketchup. Really good with ketchup. So, the next place that I'm going is Starbucks. And the reason I'm going to Starbucks is because the whole time I was in, now I want to say Kenya. I was not in Kenya, I was in Korea. The whole time I was in Korea, I saw, and the Philippines, there's a Starbucks on every corner. I am 100% convinced that there are more Starbucks in the Philippines than there are in the United States altogether. And that's saying something. There's literally a Starbucks on every corner. It's insane. So here in the United States, yet another beautiful thing. Not all of them, but I would say a lot of Starbucks have drive-thrus. Everything that I am passing right now, pretty much, there's a restaurant right here called Smash Burger. Smash Burger has a drive-thru. There's a Cold Stone, which is an ice cream place. They do not have a drive-thru. If they did, I would be going there. I love ice cream and I love donuts. How was your Baguio experience? I hope you had fun there. Thank you so much, Lady Margaret, for asking that. My Baguio experience was absolutely amazing. I did get some of the, those wooden brooms that Baguio is kind of, I guess, known for. Or that's something that's very common in the Philippines. But it was such a cool place. It was such a beautiful, beautiful place. It was really great to escape the humidity that's kind of everywhere else in the Philippines. I almost overshot my Starbucks drive-thru. Believe it or not, I do not eat out very much. So going through a drive-thru is a new experience for me everywhere. It's a new experience for me as well as you. So what's your Starbucks order, ladies and gentlemen? Because pretty much everywhere. Nambia, thank you so much for watching. I'm so happy that you are here and that you're tuning in. I loved so you enjoyed I'm trying to look at this comment. Enjoy the U.S. restaurant. You want to come here. Yes, we have a lot of different restaurants, and it depends on where you go in the United States, where these restaurants are. I think the thing is Starbucks is not like Chick-fil-A. They don't have a person. Most places don't have like a person that comes out and speaks to you. You have to order. I'll show you. You have to talk to a box. I don't know if you can see it. You have to talk to a box. So there's a person obviously on the other side of the box, but you have to talk to the box. So I think the box is talking to me. Hello?
Hi, welcome to Kingston Starbucks. How can I get started for you today?
Hi, I would like a tall chai tea latte with almond milk, please.
Okay.
Hot.
Anything else?
Sorry, I want to make sure it's hot, not iced.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's it. That's all I need.
Can I have your name?
Kari.
All right, Kari, I'll have that ready for you at the window.
Thank you. So just so everyone knows, my tall chai tea latte was $5.61. That is US $5.61. Starbucks is in the United States what we would like to call bougie. If you hear the term bougie, that means that it's like expensive. And that is just why I do not always drink Starbucks. I usually make my own coffee at home. And that's, if you're trying to save money, I'll go ahead and tell you this right away. If you are trying to save money, especially when you come to the United States, I know that you will be very excited to try all sorts of different things and different foods and all that fun stuff. But going to the grocery store and cooking yourself is a great way to save money. Going out to eat is very expensive, especially if you are feeding a family or feeding just more than yourself. Like, for example, I mean, think about it. If I had my husband with me and he got a drink, and I had my 2 children and they each got a drink, we would be spending $20, $20 on drinks. That's just something to drink. That's crazy. My meal at Chick-fil-A was, I think, $8.31, somewhere in there, $8.31. So right there, if I had a family of 4, I think when we eat at Chick-fil-A, it's $25 for my family to eat at Chick-fil-A. So $25, and then to go through Starbucks and everybody get a drink, we would be spending almost $50. $50. And that's just breakfast. Can you imagine? You eat 3 times a day, that's $150. And usually breakfast is the cheapest meal of the day. So that's just something to keep in mind. Yes, there's some great things to try when you get to the United States, some really great options for you to experience in the United States, but make sure you save your money. And a great way to do that is to shop at home or shop at the grocery store and cook at home. But this is a treat for me because I never go out to eat. Let's see if I can think of some other tips and tricks while we're sitting here in the drive-thru. So let's say that you are going to take the IELTS exam. And part of the IELTS exam is there are 3 individual speaking portions. The first portion is very get to know you, right? How are you? Tell me what you do for a living. Tell me about your family. Tell me about where you live. Short, sweet, to the point questions. But something that a lot of people struggle with is when they get stumped and they're like, I don't know how to answer this, or I can't relate to this. How do you answer those questions? I get that question a lot. How do you answer questions when you really don't have much to say about what the question is asking? That's a really, really great question to ask. The same goes for even a job interview. Let's say that during your job interview, they ask you a question and you're like, I don't know how to answer this. So my advice is always be honest. 100% always be honest. Let's say that in the IELTS, they ask you about if you've ever been to an art museum and you're like, art's not my thing. I've never been to an art museum. And that's what you're thinking in your head is, oh my gosh, how am I going to answer this? I've never been to an art museum. What am I going to say about an art museum? So my advice to you is they can tell whether you're lying, whether you're making it up. We all have what are called tells when we lie. A lot of times it involves eye contact. You can look at a person's eyes, they'll start to stutter or they'll start to do little things that show that they're uncomfortable. So don't lie. Step number 1, don't lie. Don't feel like you have to make up some huge exaggerated story about when you went to the Louvre in Paris. And no, look at them and say, honestly, you know what? This is a great question for someone who actually enjoys art. I am not a person who actually enjoys art. For example, the best thing I can draw is a stick figure. I can't draw. I don't even have very neat handwriting, but I can tell you about something I remember about being in school and we had to draw a picture. Pull something from your own memory that's kind of related to the topic of art, but really they're not looking for your accuracy in answering the question. Like they're not looking for is a right or a wrong answer. Remember that there is no right or wrong answer. This is true with the IELTS. Now with some tests, like with Pearson has a very specific question on their test where they are looking for a specific word. Pearson's very good at testing you on your abilities to follow instructions. Like, do you hear what I'm asking you to do? Do you understand what I'm asking you to do? So if they ask you to give one word response, you give a one word response. Don't give them 30 seconds of a response. We are now here to pay for our Starbucks order. They are taking an order from someone else right now. But I think my chai tea is ready, which is really exciting.
Hi, how are you today?
Hi, I'm doing well, thank you.
Just $5.61.
There you go. Most people pay in card now. I happen to have cash today. So I paid in cash. Starbucks is always very busy. Hard for them to engage. Thank you so much. And here it comes. Thank you. You too. What's really great was she was looking at me while she was obviously on her headset and still taking orders, but also taking care of my order at the same time. So Starbucks, they're really great at multitasking. So what I was saying about the IELTS and then the PTE, with the IELTS, if you don't know what to say, just kind of be honest that you can't really talk a lot about that topic. And pull something that's you can kind of relate to the topic. Maybe you have a child who's done artwork. You can talk about making handprints or finger painting, little things. Does that have to do with an art museum? No, but you've already told your examiner, I've never been to an art museum, so I can't tell you about what my favorite piece of art looks like. Currently, my favorite piece of art is what's hanging on my refrigerator because it was drawn by my child. Simple enough, right? Like I said, though, with the Pearson, they're looking for a specific word. So you have to make sure that you give them that specific word and that you're following those very specific instructions. If they say one word, you give them one word. 2 words, you give them 2 words. That's it. It's graded by AI, which is artificial intelligence. So it's not like there's a person on the other side that you can impress with all of your different stories. So make sure, that is something Meredith has just given a great tip in here. They do give partial credit for questions that are looking for the answer. For example, if they're looking for the word doctor, but you give surgeon or physician. So they do give partial credit if you give something that is similar to the word that they're looking for, if it's in the word family. So thank you for that, Meredith. I appreciate that. just kind of a little quick story as I get ready to sign off on here today. Keep asking your questions. If you have questions about the PTE, you've got someone from PTE right here on the show today. She's right there. So you type her a message in the chat, boom, it's right there. She can be there to answer those PTE questions for you. She's definitely more equipped than I am. But I'm in the process of teaching my youngest child to read. And it just kind of goes to show how wonderful and fun the English language is, right? So one of her, in the United States, and if you have children who will go through this process, we call them sight words. And they're words that you want your child to just kind of know on sight without having to decode or figure out how to pronounce it. And one of her sight words was, W-A-S. You teach us all, I try. One of her words was, and a lot of times what I'll do, so for example, another one of her sight words was that, T-H-A-T, that, and that can be hard for a little kid because if you just try to pronounce it, you would go t-h-at, but T-H is what's called a diphthong, so you do th, like T-H together. And so if you chunk that up, I'd be like, okay, T-H, and she'd be like, okay, the, A-T is at. That makes sense, right? But with was, if I just cover up A-S, she's like, wah. And then she sees the last two, she's like, that's as. But you put it together, you don't say was. No, you say was. So going through this process with my child, teaching her how to read in her native language, I'm just sitting over here like, how in the world are these nurses figuring out how to pronounce our language when the rules don't make sense? Like, why is it was? Why isn't it was? Because you say as. Why is it was? All the different phonetic rules that we make up. Two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. Is words, for example, in the word like, you don't pronounce the E on the end, you pronounce the I. The I is the one that makes the sound, not the E. Just crazy, crazy rules like that in the English language that not every language has. So I just want to say a big shout out to all of you who are learning the English language, who are tackling it. Make sure that when you're reading it, you're working on your pronunciation too. Pronunciation is part of how you are graded in your speaking portion. So your accent does not impact that score heavily. It can impact it if it's like really changing the pronunciation and you really have to focus on pronunciation. But a lot of people are scared to speak because they think we don't understand their accent. Not true. The United States is a massive melting pot of all different kinds of accents. Hopefully soon on the show, I'm going to have different people with different accents on the show so that you can hear, just even within the United States, the different accents that we have. In Boston, it's crazy. Boston has a crazy accent, and it's just specific to Boston, to that area of Massachusetts. So if you're going to Boston, Massachusetts, you're going to hear them and be like, I'm sorry, what? Because I hear them and go, I'm sorry, what? People probably hear me talk and they're like, huh? What? So the South has its own thing. Northerners in New York, there's a Yankee kind of accent, and it's different areas and different boroughs of New York City have a different accent. So it's just really, really, really crazy. Thinking about not only do you have to learn how to pronounce things in the English language, but you've got to figure out how different accents are also pronouncing them. Different places call things different things. For example, sweet tea, very big in the South. And another thing, in the Philippines and in Korea, when we would order a drink, they didn't come with ice. Like, it's just automatic. You had to ask for ice if you wanted ice in your drink. In the United States, it's always going to come with ice. So So you have to tell them specifically if you don't want ice in your cup. Make sure you do that. If you don't want ice in your cup, but Chick-fil-A, they have that good ice. And then mini squares, it's so great. They have the best ice. Chick-fil-A and Sonic, really good ice. So just don't be so worried about speaking with your accent. The biggest thing is put yourself out there. Just put yourself out there and get comfortable speaking. Remember, you should be speaking English at least 30 minutes a day. That's step 12. If you have commuting while you're, just by yourself, while you're getting ready, while you're in the shower, whatever it is, talk English. And then make your brain, because we think in our native language, right? Make your brain think in English as well. That was one of the things that I worked on when I was traveling to Mexico and I was learning Spanish. I would drive down the road and try to think about what I saw in Spanish. And that really trains your brain to think quickly, because you're going by quickly, right? So you don't have time to stop and go, oh, what's the word for that? What's the word for that? And then if you pass something and you realize, I don't know the word for that, look it up. You have all the technology you need right there in your hands, right there on your phone. Look it up. So that's just a couple of tips and tricks that I have for you today when it comes to thinking about English and practicing English and all of those wonderful, fun things. Is be speaking at least 30 minutes a day, and then be thinking in English. Train your brain to start thinking in English, because the faster you can think, the faster you'll be able to respond. And that's really, really, really going to help you in all aspects of the test. In the reading test, it'll help you process quickly. Listening, as far as listening, it'll help you process. Speaking, it'll immensely help you. So thank you for coming along with me this morning. I'm so happy that you were able to join me on my trip to Chick-fil-A and my Starbucks. So I'm getting ready to go inside of my house, and I'm going to enjoy some fantastic chicken minis. Shout out to Meredith Stokes from the PTE for joining us today. Thanks so much for being in the chat, Meredith. You are thebomb.com. We appreciate you. If you have any questions about English language exam, if you would like to enroll in one of my free courses, you are always welcome to reach out to me. I am super happy to hear from you, and I will definitely respond. So also reach out to your case manager if you haven't applied with us yet. Definitely navigate to our homepage where you can apply with us. But that's pretty much all I have for you today. I'm so thankful that you stumbled into my corner of the world. You are welcome for those tips as always. Tune in next week. I can't remember what I will be talking about next week, but I'm sure it'll be fun. Tune in next week where I learn what I'm talking about. And remember, don't face the corner, face the world with Worldwide.